On page 5, we move from heritage into the family block. We saw on page 4 how heritage from Adam and Eve influenced the family, and the birth defect of the sin nature was passed down through the generations. The family is our major resource in life. All other resources and controls are dependent on the family for their beginning. It is in the family where we first learn about time management. The resource of education starts in the family. The resource of location is directly connected to the family. It is in the family where we first find controls in life. Without both the father and the mother in the home, one's resources of the family are reduced, and it becomes more difficult to build relationship skills. Both father and mother establish the foundation of one's values. Without a solid family unit, one lacks the foundation for managing relationships, communication, leadership, and team building. The family is where we develop our experience in managing our panic button, managing change, and decision making. That leaves only one control, that of temperament. Temperaments affect the way we respond to life in general, and they too are influenced by the DNA passed down through the generations of the family. Each of these areas will be covered on separate pages. Is it important to know about past generations? It must be. Otherwise, the first 9 chapters in 1 Chronicles would not have been added to the Bible. 1 Chronicles traces the family lines from Adam forward. Let's look at Adam's line. We see on the left side Cain and his descendants. On the right side, we see the descendants from Seth all the way to Noah. Those on Cain's family tree were destroyed in the flood. If we follow Noah's line, we find Ham's family tree on the left side. His descendants were cursed due to his actions. May they be the lowest of slaves to the descendants of Shem and Jephthah. When we follow Shem's line, we come to Abram. Abram's name is changed to Abraham, and God tells him to leave Canaan. Ishmael and Isaac are the sons of Abraham. We see how the actions of Abraham set into motion events that are still causing conflict today between the Arabs, that of Ishmael, and the Jews, that of Isaac. We see family heritage at work, even with Isaac's 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. When we study the line even farther, we find Moses, Joshua, Gideon, David, and Jesus traced through Jacob. It is important to note that actions of the past generations has an effect on one's success or failure. Deuteronomy 5:9 tells us what happens if you turn your back on God. It not only causes you problems, it passes on the potential to future generations. We see this in Cain's family, in Ham's family, and in the decision that Abraham made. God gives a warning to the fathers today to be mindful of their actions. This does not mean that if your great-great-grandfather did not believe in God, that you will not. It means that you need to be especially careful because you may have a weakness caused by the past family's actions. What do you know about your family heritage, dating back to the 3rd or 4th generation? Deuteronomy 5:10 goes on to say, God will show kindness to those who keep his commandments. Your actions today will be remembered in future generations. we have the opportunity to change the family heritage for the better. We can start today to seek God's favor by following His instructions in the Bible. Some have an advantage of knowing a lot about their family tree, while others can only fill in pieces. Let me share with you a little of my family tree. My personal awareness is limited when it comes to the family. Tracing the Johnson family heritage back 3 generations, we found this picture taken in the early 1900s. This is my grandfather, A.B. Johnson. The Johnson's family started farming in eastern Nebraska around 1870. My dad and mother continued on the farm through 1979 when health issues forced retirement. Each family has its own dynamics. We find that parenting starts without any experience. They tell us experience is what you get when you are expecting something else. By the time that you are a grandparent, you wonder how your children became so successful because of all the mistakes you made along the way. It was only through God's guidance that they followed the narrow pathway to success. We start out in this world unaware of the world around us, and it is only through the day-to-day activity in the family that we become aware. As infants, our first level of awareness is limited to those who feed and care for us. Over time, our awareness increases to the second level. Educators tell us that by the age of 3, many of the learning skills have been acquired. Our awareness increases through education that starts in the family. The third level of awareness is found in formal education. As we go through school, we find that our awareness continues to increase. And our awareness in life continues to increase even after we have become an adult. We find there are 4 areas where awareness must be developed. One's mental awareness is key to the other 3, that of physical, social, and self. One's awareness in social development is affected by where you are in the family order. Those who are the only child will relate to others in a way that is different than if you had a brother or sister. If you are second born, you will always have an older brother or sister. Your response will change again if you become the middle child. When there are more in the family, the order continues until the last born is always considered the baby of the family, even at the age of 40. Learning social interaction will be different for different people. As an example, I was the only child growing up on a farm. I had very little interaction with others my own age until I started the first grade at the age of 5. Even then, I only had 2 other children about my age in my class to interact with. My awareness and ability to interact socially was limited. The family environment lays the foundation for our awareness and social development with others. One is sometimes classified as a loner. It's not because I wanted to be alone. The fact was, I was alone. We need to ask ourselves, what is my level of awareness? Your answer will affect your success or failure in life. For an in-depth look at awareness, go to the Christian Visual Arts Library on the web and look at the videos under awareness. The next page in the Life Notebook is that of values. Values have the greatest influence on your decision making. On page 6, We'll look at the values that the family tree has passed on to us. To view the Notebook on Life series, visit us on the web at www.christianvisualarts.com.